Welcome, football fans, to another deep dive into the beautiful game. Today, we're unraveling one of the most fascinating stories in Premier League history. Why Jürgen Klinsmann, a world-class striker, a World Cup winner, and a Ballon d'Or contender, shocked the footballing world by signing for Tottenham Hotspur, a club teetering on the edge of relegation, not once, but twice. This is a tale of ambition, redemption, and a German superstar who defied expectations to become a Spurs legend. So, grab a drink, settle in, and let's explore why Jürgen Klinsmann took the road less traveled. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join our football community. To understand why Jürgen Klinsmann, one of the most celebrated strikers of the 1990s, chose Tottenham in 1994, we need to rewind and set the stage. By the mid-1990s, Klinsmann was no ordinary footballer. Born on July 30th, 1964, in Göppingen, West Germany, he'd already carved out a glittering career. From his early days at Stuttgarter Kickers, where he turned professional at 17, to his breakout years at VfB Stuttgart, Klinsmann was a goal-scoring machine. His lethal finishing and athleticism saw him win the Bundesliga Top Scorer Award in 1987-88 and German Footballer of the Year in 1988. But it was on the international stage that Klinsmann truly shone. In 1990, he played a pivotal role in West Germany's World Cup triumph in Italy, scoring crucial goals, including one in the round of 16 against the Netherlands. By 1994, he'd added a UEFA Cup with Inter Milan in 1991 and had just led AS Monaco to the Champions League semi-finals. With 35 goals in 84 matches for Monaco, Klinsmann was at the peak of his powers, a household name across Europe, and a striker coveted by the continent's elite clubs. In 1995, he would finish runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, cementing his status as one of the world's best. So, why on earth would a player of this caliber join Tottenham Hotspur in July 1994? To answer that, let's paint a picture of Spurs at the time. The early 1990s were a turbulent period for the North London club. Despite a proud history, including the 1991 FA Cup win under Terry Venables, Tottenham were in disarray. The 1993-94 season had been a disaster. Under manager Ossie Ardiles, a club legend but a struggling coach, Spurs finished just 3 points above the relegation zone. Off the pitch, financial troubles and boardroom battles, including chairman Alan Sugar's controversial sacking of Venables, had left the club in chaos. The media and fans were skeptical, and Tottenham were far from the glamorous destination they are today. For Klinsmann, signing with Spurs seemed like career suicide. He was 30 years old, still in his prime, and coming off a stellar World Cup in 1994, where he scored 5 goals for Germany. Clubs like Bayern Munich, Juventus, or Barcelona would have been logical destinations. Yet, he chose White Hart Lane for a modest £2 million transfer fee from Monaco. Why? The answer lies in a mix of personal ambition, the allure of the Premier League, and a desire to rewrite his own narrative. First, let's talk about the Premier League's growing appeal. In 1994, the Premier League was in its infancy, but it was already transforming into the world's most exciting league. Fueled by new TV money and global exposure, it was attracting top talent like Eric Cantona and Peter Schmeichel. For Klinsmann, who'd played in Germany, Italy, and France, England represented a fresh challenge. He later said in an interview with AS Monaco's website, "I joined Tottenham because the Premier League had become the biggest league in the world at that time. The chance to test himself in a new environment, with its fast-paced physical style, was irresistible. But there was more to it than just the league's allure." Klinsmann arrived in England with a point to prove. In Europe, he'd developed a reputation as a diver, a player who exaggerated fouls to win penalties. This perception, amplified by his role in Germany's 1990 World Cup win over England, made him a villain in the English press. Headlines like, "Why I Hate Jürgen Klinsmann" in The Guardian captured the sentiment. Spurs fans, still stinging from that World Cup semi-final loss, were skeptical too. Klinsmann saw Tottenham as a chance to flip the script, to win over his critics with goals and charisma, and boy did he deliver. From his very first match against Sheffield Wednesday, Klinsmann silenced the doubters. He scored a towering header to secure a 4-3 victory and celebrated with a now iconic dive across the pitch, a cheeky nod to his diving reputation. That moment was pure Klinsmann, bold, humorous, and instantly endearing. The same Guardian journalist who'd written "Why I Hate Jürgen Klinsmann" penned a follow-up 2 months later titled "Why I Love Jürgen Klinsmann." Fans adored him, and over 150,000 of his shirts were sold, a staggering number for the time. On the pitch, Klinsmann was a revelation. Partnering with Teddy Sheringham, he formed a lethal strike duo in Ardle's attacking 4-4-2 system. Klinsmann scored 30 goals in all competitions during the 1994-95 season, including 20 in the Premier League. His goals dragged Spurs to a respectable 7th place and an FA Cup semi-final. Highlights included a brace against Everton and a stunning volley against Liverpool. Off the pitch, his charm and fluency in English won hearts. He was named the 1995 Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year and selected for the PFA Team of the Year. By the end of the season, he was the Ballon d'Or runner-up, trailing only George Weah. But here's where the story takes a twist. Despite his heroics, Klinsmann left Tottenham after just one season, signing with Bayern Munich in 1995. Why leave after such a transformative year? For Klinsmann, Bayern was a homecoming. The chance to play for Germany's biggest club, where he'd win the Bundesliga and another UEFA Cup, was too good to pass up. Plus, at 31, he was chasing silverware to cap his career. His departure left Spurs fans heartbroken, but grateful for a season that changed the club's trajectory. Fast forward to 1997, and the story gets even wilder. Tottenham were in crisis again. The 1997-98 season saw them languishing near the relegation zone under manager Christian Gross. With injuries piling up and morale low, Spurs were staring down the barrel of relegation to the First Division. Enter Jürgen Klinsmann, now 33, and coming off stints at Bayern Munich and Sampdoria. In a move that stunned the football world, he returned to Tottenham on loan in January 1998. Why would a Ballon d'Or contender, a World Cup and European Championship winner, return to a sinking ship? The answer lies in Klinsmann's character. He's always been a footballer driven by passion and loyalty. Tottenham had given him a platform to shine in 1994, and he felt a deep connection to the club and its fans. In interviews, he's spoken about the special energy at White Hart Lane and the warmth of the Spurs faithful. When the club came calling, desperate for a savior, Klinsmann saw an opportunity to repay their faith. He later told Bundesliga.com, "Spurs was always a place where I felt at home." There was also a practical side. At 33, Klinsmann's career was winding down. After a brief spell at Sampdoria, where he struggled for game time, he needed a stage to showcase his talents ahead of the 1998 World Cup. Tottenham offered regular minutes in the world's most-watched league. Plus, the Premier League's physicality suited his combative style, even in his later years. The move was a gamble, but Klinsmann thrived on challenges. His impact was immediate and seismic. Klinsmann scored 9 goals in 15 Premier League games during his second stint, including a jaw-dropping 4-goal haul in a 6-2 thrashing of Wimbledon. That match, on April 18, 1998, was a turning point. Spurs were 2-0 down at halftime, staring relegation in the face. Klinsmann's second-half masterclass, including a clinical finish and a trademark header, turned the game on its head. Fans still talk about it as one of White Hart Lane's greatest nights. His goals against Leicester and Everton were equally crucial, lifting Spurs to 14th place in safety. Klinsmann's second spell wasn't just about goals. He brought leadership and belief to a demoralized squad. Young players like Sol Campbell and veterans like David Ginola fed off his energy. Off the pitch, his humor and professionalism steadied the ship. He played his final game for Spurs on the last day of the 1997-98 season against Southampton, bowing out as a hero. After retiring, he moved to the United States, but his legacy at Tottenham endures. So, why did Klinsmann, a Ballon d'Or contender, sign for a relegation-threatened team not once, but twice? It's a story of courage, loyalty, and a hunger for new challenges. In 1994, he saw the Premier League as a chance to conquer a new frontier and silence his critics. His success transformed Tottenham's image and paved the way for foreign stars to flock to England. In 1997, he returned out of love for the club and a desire to leave a lasting mark. Both times he defied expectations, turning a struggling team into a stage for his brilliance. Klinsmann's Spurs saga also teaches us about the power of personality in football. His charisma, work ethic, and ability to laugh at himself, epitomized by that dive celebration, won over a skeptical public. He wasn't just a goal scorer. He was a cultural phenomenon. Over 150,000 shirts sold in 1994-95 speak to his marketability. His influence helped break down barriers for foreign players in the Premier League, showing that global superstars could thrive in England's rough-and-tumble environment. Looking back, Klinsmann's decisions were vindicated. His 1994-95 season earned him a Ballon d'Or podium finish and legendary status at Spurs. His 1997-98 heroics saved the club from relegation and cemented his place in Tottenham folklore. Today, he's immortalized in the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum and remains a beloved figure in North London. His later coaching career, including stints with Germany, Bayern Munich, and the US national team, showed the same bold, risk-taking spirit that defined his playing days. As we wrap up, let's reflect on what Klinsmann's story means for football. It's a reminder that the game isn't just about trophies or transfer fees. It's about heart, legacy, and the courage to take the unconventional path. Jürgen Klinsmann could have played it safe, signing for a European giant in his prime. Instead, he chose Tottenham, a club on its knees, and turned their fortunes around. That's why he's not just a Ballon d'Or contender, but a footballing icon. What do you think of Jürgen Klinsmann's incredible journey with Tottenham? Could a modern superstar make a similar move today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and check out our other videos on football's greatest stories. Until next time, stay passionate about the beautiful game, and we'll see you soon.